All right, so um, New Year's Eve.
Okay.
When you hear those words, what pops in your head, I bet it's that
Yeah.
iconic image,
Yeah.
the Times Square ball, drop a sea of people,
Yeah.
and that electric energy as the countdown hits zero.
Right.
And this year, you're thinking about being right there in the action,
Oh, wow.
or maybe watching it all unfold from the comfort of home for the 2025 celebration.
Okay.
Let's break it down for you.
That's good.
First things first, let's say you're thinking of staying cozy at home.
Oh,
You got a ton of options, which can be overwhelming, right? There are the classic TV broadcasts,
Hmm?
ABC with their Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, CNN's New Year's Eve Live, and CBS with their country music special, New Year's Eve Live, Nashville's Big Bash.
yeah.
But then you've also got
A whole world of streaming services.
exactly, and this is where things get interesting.
Right.
We're talking DirecTV, Stream, Fubo TV, Hulu, plus Live TV, Sling TV, YouTube TV.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And many of them offer free trials, so you can try them out and see which one you like best.
I love that. That's a great point because
So many choices.
it is.
It's like being a kid in a candy store, except the candy is live performances and New Year's countdowns.
I like that analogy. And it really highlights the shift in how we consume media today. You're no longer limited to just a few channels. You can tailor your viewing experience to your specific interests.
Okay, so let's talk about tailoring that experience.
Yeah.
If you're all about those big pop performances, ABC usually has a great lineup with rumors of Carrie Underwood and the Jonas Brothers performing in 2025.
Oh, fun.
CNN is your go-to for news commentary and that Times Square atmosphere.
Yeah.
And if you're a country music fan, CBS is where it's at.
Right.
You've even got the official Times Square webcast completely free if you want a pure, unfiltered view of the action.
That's true. Which brings up a good point. What kind of experience are you looking for? Are you after big-name performers, a specific music genre, the news and commentary? Or just that raw energy of Times Square? Figuring out your priorities will help you navigate the sea of options.
Right, because it's easy to get caught up in the hype and end up watching something that doesn't quite match what you're hoping for.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears and imagine you're actually there in Times Square. It's exciting, right? Being part of that massive celebration, feeling the energy of the crowd, and seeing that ball drop right before your eyes.
It sounds amazing. It's like being part of a moment in history, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. But it's important to be aware of the realities of attending in person. We're talking huge crowds, shoulder-to-shoulder people, and heightened security measures. The NYPD is out in full force, including drones for surveillance.
Speaking of being out in force, the weather forecast isn't exactly promising. We're looking at heavy rain throughout the evening, peaking between 10 and 11 p.m.
Oh, no.
So imagine this. You're packed in with thousands of people, the excitement is building, and then the skies open up.
Well, it certainly adds another layer to the experience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It could be a story for the ages, a New Year's Eve you'll never forget, although maybe not for the reasons you'd hoped.
Exactly. Remember that time we rang in the new year? Soaking wet in Times Square? Good times, good times.
Right. It could either be a nightmare or an adventure, depending on your perspective. The key takeaway here is to be prepared. Dress accordingly, maybe invest in some stylish rain gear. Who knows, it might even add to the fun.
Okay, so we've talked about watching from home and braving the elements in Times Square. But what if you want that New York City New Year's Eve vibe without being crammed into a tiny space with thousands of people? Are there other options?
You bet there are.
Okay, good, because
New York City is full of exciting ways to celebrate New Year's Eve. For instance, Bryant Park offers a fantastic alternative.
okay.
You can enjoy free ice skating and a live broadcast of the ball drop on giant screens.
Oh, I love Bryant Park, ice skating under the stars with the New York City skyline as your backdrop. It sounds magical even if it's raining.
Right. And then you've got Brooklyn Bridge Park, which boasts stunning views of the city, including a fantastic perspective on the ball drop itself.
Okay, now that sounds like a winning combination. Incredible views and a front row seat to the main event, but without the Times Square chaos. What about something a bit more, shall we say, upscale?
For that, there's Hudson Yards. It's a newer development on the west side of Manhattan with tons of shopping and dining options. They also have live streaming of the ball drop, so you can celebrate in style and comfort.
See, options galore.
Mm.
It's all about finding what suits your vibe and your budget, of course.
Yeah.
Now, no matter where you're watching, whether it's your couch, a rooftop bar, or Times Square itself, you're going to want to know about the performances, right?
Of course. And 2025 is shaping up to be a phenomenal year for music.
Ooh, okay.
We're talking about Taylor Swift headlining, performing a medley of her greatest hits.
Okay, that's huge. She's a global icon.
Right.
I can only imagine what that performance would be like on those giant Times Square screens.
Right. It's going to be a spectacle. And then there's The Weeknd, who is rumored to be showcasing his latest album.
So something for the pop lovers and the R&B fans.
Mm-hmm.
What about those of us who prefer show tunes?
Broadway has got you covered. They're planning exclusive excerpts from Hamilton and The Lion King just for the ball drop celebration.
That's amazing. Talk about cultural fusion, right? You've got pop superstars, R&B icons, and Broadway legends all coming together to ring in the new year. It really speaks to the global reach of this event.
Absolutely. The Times Square ball drop is more than just a local celebration. It's become a global phenomenon watched by millions around the world.
And speaking of the ball drop, let's not forget the star of the show, the ball itself. This isn't just any shiny sphere, you know. It's a technological marvel and a piece of history all rolled into one.
Exactly. This thing is massive. It's 12 feet in diameter, weighs almost 6 tons, and is covered in 2,688 sparkling Waterford crystal triangles.
Wait, did you say 6 tons? That's heavier than an elephant? And all those crystals? It must be absolutely dazzling. I wouldn't want to be responsible for making sure that thing drops at exactly midnight.
It's a meticulously planned operation. They have a specially designed pole, a computerized winch system, and 6 motors to ensure a smooth descent. They even do test drops in the days leading up to New Year's Eve just to make sure everything is perfect.
So it's not just gravity doing its thing. There's a whole team of engineers and technicians behind the scenes making sure everything runs flawlessly.
Precisely. Now let's take a step back and think about how this tradition evolved. It started as a relatively simple event back in 1907.
Oh yeah, remind me, what was the first ball drop like?
Well, the first ball was a 700-pound iron and wood contraption decorated with only 100 light bulbs.
100 light bulbs. Wow, talk about a glow up. From 100 light bulbs to 32,000 LED lights and 16 million color combinations. That's quite a transformation.
It is. And what's fascinating is that it all started as a publicity stunt by Adolph Ochs, the owner of the New York Times. He wanted to draw attention to the newspaper's new headquarters in Times Square.
So basically, the original Times Square ball drop was like a giant New Year's Eve version of those flashing neon signs you see outside businesses.
Pretty much. And it worked. The event attracted a lot of attention and quickly caught on.
I guess some things never change, right? A good spectacle always draws a crowd. But how did this local celebration become a worldwide phenomenon?
It was a combination of factors. The rise of print media in the early 20th century played a role with newspapers across the country picking up the story. Then came radio broadcasts allowing people all over to tune in.
Ah, so it's like the original going viral, but in a pre-internet era.
Exactly. And then, of course, came television, which brought the visual spectacle of the ball drop into people's homes. It became synonymous with New Year's Eve, and its popularity just continued to grow.
Okay, but it couldn't have all been smooth sailing for over a century, right? There must have been some challenges along the way.
You're absolutely right. During World War II, for example, the ball drop was suspended for a few years because of wartime blackouts.
I can only imagine how people felt about that. This tradition, which had become such a symbol of hope and new beginnings, was suddenly gone. It must have felt like a real loss.
It did. But even in the face of adversity, the tradition endured. It resumed in 1944, becoming a symbol of resilience and the enduring human spirit.
That's really powerful. It shows how deeply this tradition is woven into our culture, how it represents not just celebration, but also our ability to overcome challenges and look forward to the future.
Exactly. And as we move further into the 21st century, we're seeing how this tradition continues to adapt and evolve. We're seeing it embrace new technology and new ways of experiencing the event.
You're talking about the metaverse and TikTok, right?
Precisely, platforms like Meta's Horizon Worlds are offering virtual reality celebrations, allowing people to experience the ball drop in a whole new way. And then you've got TikTok Live, which caters to a younger audience with its own unique vibe and interactive elements.
It's fascinating how this age-old tradition manages to stay relevant and engaging by incorporating these cutting-edge technologies. It's like a bridge between the past and the future.
It is, and it speaks to the enduring human need for connection, for shared experiences, especially at moments that mark the passage of time.
It makes you wonder, what will the Times Square ball drop look like in another 100 years?
That's a great question. One we'll have to ponder for another time. But for now, we have more to discuss about the ball itself. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll delve into some behind-the-scenes secrets about that glittering ball. Because believe me, it's more than just a pretty face.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Did you know that Waterford Crystal has been the mastermind behind the ball's design since 1999?
Waterford Crystal, the ones known for those exquisite handcrafted pieces.
Exactly.
That's a perfect fit for such a dazzling icon.
Absolutely. And each year they introduce new crystals with unique themes like hope, goodwill, or even those dazzling starburst designs.
So it's like a giant sparkling time capsule, reflecting the aspirations of each passing year.
Exactly. It's incredible to think that each crystal has been meticulously placed, imbued with meaning and symbolism.
Okay, I have to know, how many crystals are we talking about here?
Mm.
And how much does this shimmering masterpiece weigh?
We're looking at 2,688 Waterford crystal triangles, all meticulously arranged on the ball's surface. And the total weight, a staggering almost 6 tons.
6 tons. That's heavier than an elephant.
It is?
Imagine the precision required to lower that much weight at the stroke of midnight.
It's a marvel of engineering. The ball descends on a specially designed pole, guided by a computerized winch system and 6 powerful motors.
Wow, so it's not just a simple drop.
Yeah.
There's a whole team of experts working behind the scenes to make sure it's perfectly synchronized with the countdown.
You got it. They even conduct test drops in the days leading up to New Year's Eve to ensure everything runs smoothly.
I bet the energy in Times Square during those final seconds is absolutely electric.
Oh, absolutely. You can feel the anticipation building as the crowd counts down in unison. And when that ball reaches the bottom, it's pure exhilaration. Confetti explodes, music fills the air, and everyone's hugging, cheering, and wishing each other a Happy New Year.
It sounds magical.
Hmm.
A true culmination of excitement, tradition, and shared hope for the future.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now looking ahead, I hear there are some exciting plans in the works for the future of the ball drop. Anything you can share?
Well, there's buzz about incorporating augmented reality and interactive elements in the coming years. Imagine watching from home and being able to virtually interact with the ball drop, or even personalize your viewing experience.
Wow, that would be amazing. It sounds like the ball drop is continually evolving, finding new ways to engage audiences and keep the tradition fresh.
Exactly. It's about embracing new technology while holding on to the core values of the event, bringing people together to celebrate new beginnings.
So whether you're bundled up in Times Square, cozy on your couch, or even exploring the virtual world, the 2025 ball drop is going to be an event to remember.
Absolutely. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our shared desire to mark time, celebrate milestones, and connect with one another.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 2025 Times Square ball drop. We've explored everything from viewing options and the ball's incredible history to the technology behind its descent, and even a glimpse into the future of this iconic event.
Hopefully you're feeling informed, inspired, and maybe even a little bit more connected to this global tradition.
As you make your plans for New Year's Eve, remember that it's not just about watching a ball descend. It's about the shared experience, the collective anticipation, and the joy of welcoming a new year with millions of people around the world. Happy New Year, everyone.
Delve into some behind-the-scenes secrets about that glittering ball. Because believe me, it's more than just a pretty face.
Oh yeah, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Did you know that Waterford Crystal has been the mastermind behind the ball's design since 1999?
Waterford Crystal, no way.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yep. The one's known for those exquisite handcrafted pieces.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. They're like the epitome of sparkle and elegance.
Absolutely. And each year, they introduce new crystals with unique themes like hope, goodwill, or even those dazzling starburst designs.
So it's not just a bunch of random crystals slapped on there. There's actually thought and meaning behind it.
Exactly. It's like a giant sparkling time capsule reflecting the aspirations of each passing year.
I love that. That's a really cool way to think about it. Okay, so I have to know, how many of these crystals are we talking about? And how much does this shimmering masterpiece weigh?
We're looking at 2,688 Waterford crystal triangles, all meticulously arranged on the ball surface. And the total weight, a staggering almost 6 tons.
6 tons? That's insane. That's like heavier than 2 cars combined.
It is.
Imagine the pressure on that thing to drop perfectly at midnight.
It's a marvel of engineering. The ball descends on a specially designed pole guided by a computerized winch system and 6 powerful motors.
So it's not just gravity doing its thing. There's a whole team of people behind the scenes making sure it all goes smoothly.
You got it. They even conduct test drops in the days leading up to New Year's Eve to ensure everything runs smoothly.
I bet the energy in Times Square during those final seconds is absolutely electric.
Oh, absolutely. You can feel the anticipation building as the crowd counts down in unison. And when that ball reaches the bottom, it's pure exhilaration. Confetti explodes, music fills the air, and everyone's hugging, cheering, and wishing each other a happy new year.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. A true culmination of excitement, tradition, and shared hope for the future.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 2025 Times Square ball drop. We've explored everything from viewing options and the ball's incredible history to the technology behind its descent, and even a glimpse into the future of this iconic event.
Hopefully you're feeling informed, inspired, and maybe even a little bit more connected to this global tradition.
As you make your plans for New Year's Eve, remember that it's not just about watching a ball descend. It's about the shared experience, the collective anticipation, and the joy of welcoming a new year with millions of people around the world. Happy New Year, everyone.